Mr. Chivayo actually borrowed some money on the basis, he borrowed some money on the understanding that he would cede the rest of his shareholding in Intrateck Zimbabwe Private Limited, which he did to a company called Intermediate Investments. Right. So for all intents and purposes, and as things stand right now, Mr. Chivayo is not really a shareholder in Intrateck Zimbabwe Private Limited. Right. Now, the biggest challenge that has been there, and I think everybody has seen it, is that even in communicating with members of this august house, Mr. Chivayo was saying, I did this, I did that, my this, my that. He has never respected certain corporate governance issues that relate to the management of companies. And that is precisely why we are here today, because the shareholders have said, this project is not moving, we are concerned, we risk our names being tainted, etc., because of whatever is going on. But it's high time we take some action and make sure that things are happening on the ground. Right, we have tried to engage on behalf of the shareholders. As you know, obviously there is need to restructure the board and the management of Intrateck Zimbabwe Private Limited to make sure that there's progress on these projects of national importance. We've tried to engage the Mr. Chivayo here to get some documents, etc. In fact, we have asked the same questions that you are asking in this august house as to, for example, what could have happened with the monies, etc. And even the shareholders themselves are none the wiser. All right. We have even approached ZPC. We have written several correspondences and said, can you please assist us with these things so that we can get this project back on track, because the people who were the principal funders in the first place need to come in and make sure that there's progress. Of course, we have not registered any lack that side. But I wish to indicate in clear and certain terms that the shareholders of Intermediate Investments, the shareholders of Intrateck Zimbabwe Private Limited are very much prepared to fund most of the positions that may seem to be controversial at the moment. As a matter of fact, they indicated that, I must make it categorically clear, that if they can mobilize and ensure that this project is up and running as quickly as possible. As a matter of fact, they've got the equipment, they've got everything that can be on the ground within a week even of this particular session, as long as they understand, of course, and I know that this is an issue that has got more to do with the company than anything else, which is why I don't want to waste your time explaining that. But they've made it very clear that they are happy. Now they understand, obviously, the problems associated with this particular arrangement. And because of that, they are taking action. And this action, obviously, is in the form of effectively restructuring this board and the management. And they are mobilizing on the ground, and they are more than happy to pump out these monies that are required, since they were the principal funders in the first place for Intrateck Zimbabwe to be in existence in the first place. I think on behalf of the shareholders of Intrateck Zimbabwe Private Limited, that is what I wish to communicate to this august house.
Yeah. And you, when did Mr. Chivayo cede the shares?
In 2014.
So, when he signed this, who signed the agreement? The agreement for this project?
Mr. Chivayo has basically been responsible for the day-to-day running of Intrateck Zimbabwe Private Limited, as obviously a director and the managing director for that matter.
So he signs in his capacity as managing director, not as shareholder?
No, he signs in his capacity as the managing director and a director of Intrateck Zimbabwe Private Limited.
So as shareholders, were you aware of all these transactions which came through the company?
Right up to the commencement of the monies that we're talking about, yes. But obviously after that, there hasn't been much communication, and there hasn't been much transparency, so to speak.
Would you say the money that has been put into this project, has it gone to the intended purpose?
Frankly speaking, the shareholders are none the wiser. They do not understand. The same questions that everybody here is raising are the same questions that are being raised. But what they are saying is that we have got the capacity, because these are Zimbabweans, we have got the capacity, we have got the money, the balance sheet. And yes, they are happy to ensure that whatever it needs to be done is done.
Okay, Honorable Chirisa, my last question to you is, how much money have the shareholders that you represent put into Intrateck?
Right now, they are compiling a reconciliation of the monies that they've put into debt, but we're looking at between $2 to $3 million.
Chivayo, how much money have you put in Intrateck?
Probably another $2 to $3 million.
Are you able to? Sorry, how much money?
Maybe $2 to $3 million.
Are you able to show us proof, both parties, of the money that you've put into this? Because this is now going to what the members of parliament say, is this a briefcase? And if there's anybody who's put in money, we want to know. So by end of this week, if we can get the documents telling us and proof of money that has gone into this organization. Any questions from members of parliament? Of the committee? Yes, Honorable Nengami.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to put the question to the lawyer that, like what you rightly said, that Mr. Chivayo ceased to be a shareholder in 2014. As of now, is he an employee as a director or what? In terms of currently, what connections does he have with Intrateck?
Currently, he is my director. Right. Currently, he is a director, and he is the managing director of Intrateck Zimbabwe Private Limited.
Chivayo, why did you tell us that you were a 50% shareholder? Before us, you took oath and said you're a 50% shareholder. And now we are told you are not a shareholder, you are a managing director. What is your response to that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The issues of shareholdings, I think, is an internal issue for Intrateck. It's my word against his word. He will say, I ceded shares in 2014, but in 2015, after signing the contract, Mr. Yusuf Ahmed gave me my 50% back. And I have evidence to that effect. I have share certificate, which is in my name for the 50%. So he is a lawyer representing those shareholders. I didn't bring my lawyer. And it's a dispute that if we disagree, us as shareholders are...
I just wanted to know whether a shareholder...
I am a 50% shareholder, and I stand by that.
Yes, Honorable Holder.
Thank you, Chairman. What I just wanted to clarify, the lawyer who's representing the other shareholder, have you got documents regarding to the ceding of the shares to the other partner?
Yes, I do have those documents. I have them with me even right now.
Can you?
Chairman, on a point of order.
Yes.
It looks like the two are not agreeing. Is there any court cases going between the two of you? Because we don't want it to be sub judice.
Yes, indeed, there's a potential dispute that should go to the courts. And
The question is this. No,
the
Mr.
session he
Chivayo.
has is not registered.
Mr. Chivayo,
Yes.
you cannot be, you are under oath and you keep jumping the gun. Can you switch off the question Mr. Honorable Holder asked you? Is this case before the courts, yes or no? Not that it's going to court. Is it your dispute? Is it before the courts, yes or no?
Then my response was, there's a potential dispute.
I said,
Lawyers have been communicating.
Is this case before the
Lawyers
courts?
have been communicating and letters have been written.
What we are saying, Mr. Chivayo, I think, Mr. Chivayo, you are not understanding the consequences of this. I think you are not understanding the consequences of what you are doing. We are not here to play games. We are neither here to really be having you telling us things which are not true. You are under oath. I keep saying this to you, you are under oath. And Honorable Nduna warned you of prevaricating. And we have just asked you, is this matter of shareholding before the courts, yes or no?
No, it's not.
Mr. Toko, may you finish the committee with the documents that relate that he ceded shares, and if there are any that will come, I mean, if the matter goes before the courts, that's different. But for now, we want to establish the legitimate owners of this entity. And by so doing, if you could forward us those documents, and we'll study them and make appropriate recommendations. If Mr. Chivayo have anything to the contrary too, you are free to also submit to this committee. Yes, Honorable Chairman.
Mazita Chairman. Inini Chairman, mvunzo wangu through you, Mr. Chairman, ndio kuti Zesa Holdings se company yakakura udare inomirira nyika yedu. Ine mari inoshanda udare yakawanda udare inenge ichibuda nevanhu mari yenyika yedu through Zimbabwe Power Company. Vanenge vane basa rekumirira mari dzedu yakawanda udaro. Kana takatarisa vachisenza nekambani dzakadai so kuti nyika iende mberi ine vanhu vakaita madegree vane PR department, chii chiri kuitika kuZesa, chii chiri kuitika kuIntrateck. Ivo veIntrateck pakusenza kwavo, mubvunzo wangu uya chairman wakusimuka wendabvunza vaChivayo kuti mune mhosva here yamakambopara ine chekuita nenyaya dzeori, vakati azveshuwa zvakabuda pachena kuti fraud stakuba saka vakachaiwa 2 years handiti, but ivo vari kuti zvese izvozvo hazvino basa, inini ndaichandoda kuita chi, kuita mari. Saka maitiro emari acho ndiwo here awa evaishanda neZPC. Anyway, discussion yedu secommittee, asi ndinofunga ZPC neZesa Holdings inofanira kudzoka futi vambotitsanangurira maendero evakaita kuchikoro kana vachishanda nemakambani akadai so.
I think members of parliament, that's why you're doing such a sterling job in exposing this. If it was not for your oversight role, the country would not have known this. And probably chero iwo this house, because the state procurement board is critical too. Could pama tenders, one wakaita say. So it's a whole chain of people, and this parliament will recommend otherwise. Honorable Holder.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to find out from the lawyer, where is the current director that he had to send you as a representative? Is he in the country or out?
He is out of the country at the moment.
Chirisa, then I'll come to Honorable, and then we'll finish off with Honorable. You all speak, but we'll finish off with Honorable Nduna. Honorable Chirisa.
I just want to find out from the lawyer, sorry I forgot the name. Mr. Togo, I just want to find out from you the current board members, their names, and also you said you are going to appoint a new board. What do you look for in people to become board members, the criteria that you use? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Obviously, to the shareholders, the issues of corporate governance are very important. In fact, for any organization to be functional and to deliver its mandate, corporate governance issues have got to be respected. And the manner in which we want to restructure this board is such that we want to make sure that there are people who have got experience in areas that are relevant to projects of this sort. And that is exactly what we intend to do when we restructure the board of Intrateck Zimbabwe Private Limited. Obviously, you can imagine that a situation like this does not leave anybody unscathed, and it's not to be repeated again. And that is exactly why right now we're going to look at people who can dispense with their mandate as board members.
A follow-up.
No, the other party did not answer. I asked the current board members, who are they, and you know their background. You did not answer.
May you answer that then?
In terms of the Sierra 14 that we have at the moment, the current board members of Intrateck Zimbabwe Private Limited are Mr. Wigno Chivayo, Mr. Ross Chavi, and Mr. Yusuf Ahmed. And that is what is reflected